Myself and Mike Northwood are back in Bodfari again. We were here in September as well. But we're back again judging this weekend there for Ceri has a real good trial, lots of dogs in it. And I was judging today and it'll be Mike's turn tomorrow. But I'm here with Mike now and I was telling him that Bruce wasn't that well lately and it got me to thinking, you know, maybe I should take some semen from him and that. But I'm not too familiar with how it all works. And I know you're the come by man. I knew you were the fella to ask. Can you tell me a little bit about it or why you set it up even in the first place?
Yes, well, I set it up in the first place because I saw these beautiful dogs and I hear all these old stories about Whiston Cap and Bosworth Coon and Fortune's Glen, and I just thought, wouldn't it be wonderful now if we had semen in the tank where we could have gone back on some of these good bitches. So I had this idea with a friend, and we went and talked to a vet and said, is it feasible? And they said, yes, yeah, we'd like to work along with you. He unfortunately got married and had kids, and so I've done it all on my own. But basically it's to offer to anyone in the world to collect semen off the dog, store it, because we believe it can last for 1,500 years once it's frozen.
Yeah. Well, I remember thinking for exactly that reason, I was delighted to hear that you had set it up, just that we can keep all those good dogs indefinitely. And you know, like I see there, and there's dogs I've only heard about, like I don't know, Alad's Bob and Vic Morris's Mac and these kind of dogs, and you've got semen there from them that people can use. Like, I think that's incredible.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty. Some of these forward thinking. Alid was very forward thinking, not financially, but he saw on the breeding side how good it would be. And I got Vic, and I went as well. But what we did do is we went with dogs 10 years old as they came to the end of the career, and you can't collect semen very well off those sort of dogs. If you could get it there 18 months, 2 years old, and just see the potential and just put some in the can, it belongs to you. Yeah, I put you in touch with the vets take it, the vets store it, it belongs to you. If you want me to sell some on your behalf, I advertise it, and then I arrange shipping and take it around the world wherever it needs to go, but it belongs to you, nobody else.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. It's nearly like putting it in a time capsule, like, yeah. And see now, like with Bruce getting sick with me this weekend now, I was kind of thinking, how do I go about drawing semen off my dog? Or is it a big job? Is it hard to do it? Or
we need a vet at all times. When I started as an agent for the International Sheepdog Society, we stipulated that a vet had to be taking the semen and a vet had to be putting it in. A, for insurance, because, you know, God forbid if it got mixed up with some poodle semen, the vets are insured,
yes,
and you would get paid out. But that won't happen because everything's microchipped and everything is collected and put in separate boxes and frozen. But yes, you tell me where you are, I try and find a vet for you, and I put you in touch with the vet, try and get a bitch in season because it always helps. Some collecting straws, some collecting pellets. It's just the way they were taught. And then we put A with B and get the collection. And then it's funny with data protection now, the vets can't tell me how much is stored.
oh yeah,
They have to tell the owner. So if you want to collect from Bruce, he will email you and ring you. And then you tell me, right, I've collected 5 good bitch doses. To help me finance it, I'd like to sell 2 and keep 3 in the can. I put it out to tender, if anyone's interested. If it comes up, find out which country it is. And there's different blood tests for different countries, and then I arrange with you to tell you to go at certain times to get health tests and blood tests to make it eligible to get it into said country.
Well, say now, a couple of people have asked me in America in the past if there was semen from Bruce, and I was even thinking of sending them over there, but just after getting a little fright this weekend, I don't think I'll send them anywhere in future.
No, I mean, people do want you to stand them at stud. It depends how much you like your dog and if you trust people where it's going, but this is a fail-safe. And on a business proposition, if you keep your dog in the country that it was born and where it runs, you've got more chance of selling that semen. If you take him out at stud, you could get 10, 15 bitches to him while he's out there. Yeah, you'll make a fair bit of money, but then those people have got your blood and they don't need anything else. They're looking for another dog to put across those.
Yes.
If you take semen, it's a fail-safe for yourself in case of the illness or it gets run over, accident, and B, it gives you that financial backup that you know you've got it there to sell you know, so you're not out of pocket, you can make a bit of profit from it. But basically it was set up so we keep these genetics in a can.
Yes, well, I just think that's invaluable. Like, I'm delighted you set it up. I remember when I came across it, like, I only came back to Sheepdogs a few years ago, and when I came across comebuy.com, I was thinking that's brilliant, because we can relax and we can get as hung up as we want about health testing and about everything else, because I'm always a little bit nervous about making the gene pool smaller. But this is nearly like an insurance policy that, well, we'll always be able to go back in and dip into.
Yeah, that's right. And the beauty is some of these dogs, the tests weren't available before they were collected. But because we know if we take a clear bitch on the tests, we can use this semen with no fear of an affected.
Yes.
We might get a carrier, but we need the carriers.
Yes, we need to keep a few in the gene pool.
We've got to keep them all in the gene pool, because they'll find out that the carriers are connected to longevity, to outruns, to health. And that's why we must chuck the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes,
we've got to be very, very careful.
It's funny, that's the phrase I always think about, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because it's such a complicated recipe in all these dogs. Like.
Yeah, and when you go back to the food chain with cattle, pigs and sheep, you will not eat pork, beef or lamb now that's not had AI somewhere there in, because of the genetic pool, because they can spread the semen about and ship it from different countries to get better progeny. So we know it works.
Yes.
And so it's just getting everybody else on board. But to remember that the semen belongs to the owner. I think some people think, oh, Mike Northwood's got it, he's going to make a fortune. No, I'm still driving around in an old car. It's yours.
Yes.
I just organise the selling for you.
And here's the thing now, a couple of people have asked me from the States about, is there any possibility of getting semen from Bruce? And I was lazy about it now, so I just said no. But in the future, if I decide to take some semen from Bruce, which I probably will now in the near future, if somebody in America wants semen, how does it work, like, or what do they have to do to, you don't just post it over to them in an envelope? What's involved in there?
Yeah, well, it is frozen in separate vials and put into holding tanks. So if I get a definite purchase and somebody wants a bitch dose, they contact me, I set the wheel in motion, we ring the vet, and then we get quotes from FedEx, TNT, or one of the big companies to try and get it as cheap as possible. We then tell the buyer, these are the different prices, which one do you want to go with? Then when we've decided, they know what the cost of that's going to be. I ask you what your stud fee is.
Yes.
And then we arrange for a dry shipper. Now the vets have 5 or 6 dry shippers. Post 9111, you can't put liquid nitrogen and put the frozen semen in there. They have to be called what's called dry shippers, ceramic shippers, and they're frozen down to minus 72 degrees C. Yes. And they last for 21 days. There's a goblet put in there. The semen is put in that. It's all screwed down. FedEx pick it up, and normally within 2 days it's with the vet of the bitch that's going to be inseminated. So they take it out of the dry shipper and they put it in their holding tanks, and then it'll last there for 1,500 years, definitely for the length of time when the bitch comes in season.
Well, that's nice, so at least they can buy it in advance and not be panicking about trying to time it with the bitch being in season.
That's why, I mean, we do a bit with chilled semen, but it's all about timings.
Yes.
With frozen semen, it's there, sat at the vet in your case in America. The bitch comes in season and it's in his tank.
I like that. I like that. I just don't like being too confined with dates and everything. I like that.
No
flexibility.
And you know, we've had a few problems in the past. Like when you go to France, you make sure it doesn't land on a Friday after 3 o'clock because no one's on customs that'll do it, and so it just sits there till Monday morning. America's the same. When you get there, New Zealand's very, very difficult in Australia because of the blood tests involved.
Well, see, Mike, there's a very important thing. Somebody could say to me, oh, sure, why don't you do it yourself? But like the way I always say about with sheepdogs training or anything else in semen and breeding is no different, that education comes at a price. And it might be that you sent semen over on a Friday to France and you learn that doesn't work because nobody's there, they neglected it or whatever.
Well, that happened.
And you've learned all those lessons.
Yeah, they opened the lid and it defrosted and the semen was gone.
Yes. Well,
so we had to send more.
I'll be trying to do something with you because I don't want to have to learn those lessons. I'll just fast forward it, and I don't mind. Obviously, you'll need to have a bit of a fee, But whatever it is, I'll just pay for it. I'll save myself the education.
Yeah, well, that's
and
it.
the cost.
My fee's not big, but it's all about education and getting people. And hopefully, some of the good dogs in America, the good dogs in Australia, while that tank's gone out, we can put good semen and bring it back for us, and we can be using it.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen some nice cattle dogs and all that, and I wouldn't mind throwing them across the bitch too, even just for making walking dogs. But there's the other thing, like it's not just anybody. I know I could go and put semen into a bitch, but surely the ISDS have some kind of controls where they want. I mean, we could be using any dog and saying it was. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's got to be a vet, and so I found 2 very good vets in the UK. We follow all the guidelines, all the paperwork's filled in at insemination time. Microchips are read, so we know we've got the right dog. The vet has to sign it, the owner has to sign it, and then because I've known about the semen being shipped in, I've been part of the process. There's part of the forms where they all get sent to me, and I sign it all off. People have done it themselves and sent the paperwork in, and then the ISDS, have you rung me up, have you do anything about this? And I say no. And they ring the owners up and say, sorry, we can't register the pups, there's no agent there involved, nobody knows about it.
And you're a recognised ISDS agent then?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, that's very important to me now. Well, listen, Mike, thanks very much for. I'm going to do something with Bruce now, and we'll try and tie up and I'll do whatever I need to do to get some semen, because that, I want to keep it there for insurance. You know, I had a dog injured before, and he's still alive and he's okay. But you know, when they're gone, and now's the time, as you say, when they're young and the semen's good and virile and all. Now's the time to be.
Now's the time to be doing it. Yes.
Well, listen, thanks very much, Mike. I tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing you judging tomorrow. Mike's going to have the hard day tomorrow. I had the handy one. That's why I picked Friday, and he's going to do Saturday. So good luck tomorrow, Mike, and thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed. Cheers.